Okay, today we are going to discuss about background scripts in ServiceNow. Okay, so it runs directly on the instance by using the JavaScript code, the basic code. Okay, so to do to run the background scripts, we need admin role. Okay, so we will see point to point what is the things. Okay, Okay, so what are background scripts? So it is a powerful admin tool to execute server-side JavaScript directly on ServiceNow instance without creating a formal script record. Means so you no need to create any other formal scripts like client script, business rule, or schedule job like that. If you need immediate action in your instance to update a record, to update multiple records, to delete records, or to get the value of system properties. So like that, if you need instant mm, action, okay, immediately. So without creating a formal script, then these background scripts is very helpful. Okay, so to execute the background script, the user must and should have admin role. So if the user doesn't have admin role, he doesn't he can't run the background scripts in ServiceNow instance. Okay, so it's fully audited. Means if you for example, if you're running a script, for example background script in instance, okay, so it will be fully audited. Means it will store the output in syslog table. Okay, so I will show you so what the syslog table now. Okay, so this is our instance. So if you open syslog, okay, so this is our log table. So where our instance logs will be stored in this table, syslog. The table name is syslog. Means if you run any background script in an instance, so at that time the output will show you on the output screen, and it will store in log tables also. So you can check at any time so what the output came. Okay, so and what is the update. Okay, so this is fully audited. Okay, so let's see how to navigate to the background scripts in our instance. Okay, so here in navigation, just type system definition. Okay, under system definition you will find what is it, you will find background scripts. Okay, so let's type background scripts for shortcut. See, under system definition you can see scripts background. So okay, this is the path to open the background script in ServiceNow. Okay, so if you open that, let's see, yeah, this is the page when you open to do the things in background script. Okay, so this is the script. Here we can write a script. Okay, and here this is the output tab. So here when you executed, the output will show here, and it will store in log table also. So this is the thing how we can navigate to the background scripts, and this is the functionality of the background scripts. Okay, so let's see next one. So next, common use cases. Okay, so query and update records. So as said before, if you need to query any record, for example, if you need to query an incident record and you need to display in you need to check what the value is there. So you need to check for your development purpose. You can check, you can query by using the background scripts. And if you need to update multiple records, for example, if you need to delete, uh, your client have given some requirement. to delete 2000 records. Let's take an example, 2000 records. So at that time you can't delete one by one, right? So by using the script, you can apply you can apply the script in background script. Once you run the background script, it the records, 2000 records get deleted at a time very easily. Okay, so this is the thing how background scripts is helpful. Next, fish data issues means if you uh, there is a table. Okay, let's take some database table. There you saw some data is not valid. So there you need to update the data, correct data. So at that time, background scripts is very helpful to run a script to update the incorrect value. So it will fix the value. Okay. So next, impersonate users. So it will reproduce and debug user specific issues very quickly. Okay. So next, text business logic. So try glide record scripts before adding to the business rule. Means so I will explain what is glide record in upcoming section. So by using glide record, you can fetch the values from a table. So by using glide record, so that glide record we will use in a business rule. So before going to business rule, we can test like if we use glide record in these conditions, will it work or not? So before going to the business rule and before applying in business rule, you can make a test in system sorry, background scripts, and you can test whether it's working fine or not, which you have written the code. Okay. So next we have check system property. So as said before, so you can check the system property values by using the background scripts. For example, if there is a system property, you need to check what value is there in that system property. Okay. So at that time you can just write a query and you can just print gs.print. You can just print a output so that you can get to know what value is stored in the system property. So write system property means you can write means you can update or read the system property which you need to see or edit. Okay. So next we have test script includes means which invoke and validate utility functions on the fly. Okay, so this is the common use cases of background scripts. See, now we have came to the syntax and code examples. So here we have query records means you are just querying incident table which has state 1. It will just filter that and it will show if the records are available, then it should print those records short description. For example, um, if the incident state is open, so for that incident state, all short description should be displayed. So this is the explanation of this script. And update records. For example, as said before, if you need to update multiple records. Okay, if you need to update multiple records, so you can just simply write a script in background script, and you can just execute so that it will update the multiple records without any issues. Means it's very easy. Okay. So here you can see update records. There they are updating the assigned to field means they are checking whether any assigned to field is empty or not. If the assigned to field is empty, we need to update this as a admin sys id. Okay. So once it's done, it needs to print done. Okay. For example, if assigned to field empty, which has empty records, has 9 records, incident records. Okay. Let's take so when you execute this script, so it will check and it will filter out the 9 records and it will update the assigned to field as admin sysid. with admin sysid, what the admin sysid has. Okay, so once those 9 records has updated bulkly, then it will print as done. So this is the script as gs.print done, means once this has updated, then it will get print as done. Okay, so this is logging output methods, means as I said, to give the output, we have 5 things. Okay, so which is gs.print, gs.info, gs.error, and gs.log, gs.one. So to print the output panel, in output panel, we will use a gs.print. So if you need to print in info level, okay, info level log, then we will use gs.info. If you need the print error level log, okay, for example, okay, is there any error like that? So if you need to print the output in error level log, then you can use gs.error. If you need to, if you need to write in system logs, actually this also will get update in log table, but this is some specific. Okay, it will write in system logs. So if you need warning logs, so at that time we can use gs.warn. Okay, and the important thing in background script is we can't we can't roll back. So for example, I was just deleting the records. Let's take, okay, I was just I need to delete some 15-20 records, and by using script I have done, and it's 15-20 records has deleted. Okay, by after running the script in background script, the 15 to 20 records has been deleted, but suddenly I realized that I have done some mistake. Those records we need, but I deleted. Okay, so at that time we can't roll back, right? We can roll back, but it's a big process. We can't roll back immediately. So that's why before doing in production instance, you just test in SIT or dev instance UAT. You just make small testing in lower instance before going to the production. Okay, so that you can avoid this kind of things, like this kind of things. So we need to be very cautious in this. Okay, so we will see in next session about gs print, gs info, gs error, gs log, gs one. So we will see all these 5 logging output method in next section. Okay, I will explain in next section very clearly. Okay, with examples. Okay, so I will write one script. Let's see one script how it will update. Okay, so this is our background script. So I have just opened before. So now I am writing a script new. So what we will write? So let's open an instance table dot list list. Okay, okay. So let's take data assign to matching equal to empty. Okay, so here there is a field which is assigned to. Empty is field. Sorry, we will take another one. Wait. Show matching. Okay, we have state as new. We have 13 records, incident records. So we will try to change the new state to in progress or some other states. Okay, so let's open this. So now we are going to change the incidents which is in new state to in progress or some other states. We will just update now. Okay, we will try to update it. It's loading. Okay, so here the new value, backend value is 1. Okay, so we will try to change to in progress, which is background value is 2. Okay, so we are gonna write glide record. So I will explain about glide record in a later section very clearly. So right now I will explain some examples to understand background scripts. Okay, a dot add encoded query. Okay, a dot query while. So we are using a while because we are going to update 11 records, more than one. Okay, next. Okay, so here a dot state. So right now we have 13 records under new state. Now we are going to change those state to in progress. Okay, so let's go here. I'm giving the query a dot state to a dot update. Okay, so we have written the script to change the state value to in progress. Okay. Okay, so once it's done, I need to print. I need to know, right? So before going to the scripts, before going to the table, and I need to check. I need to know by seeing this only. So okay, so for that I will write gs dot print state got updated to in progress for all 13 incidents. Okay, so I have written once it's updated, then it will print a statement like state got updated to in progress for all 13 records. Okay, so I was just running now. It's running. So let's come, scroll down. See, you can see a script. So I have written a print, right? So once it's got updated, then I need to print this. Means here we can see state got updated to in progress for all 13 records. Means all 13 incidents which is a new state has been updated to in progress. Okay, so let's refresh this. I can't see any new state incidents. Means it's updated to in progress. Okay, so this is the uh, example how we can use the background scripts. So by using, now we saw how to update. Okay, now we saw how to update multiple records. Okay, now we will see how to delete multiple records. So we can delete also. So for that we will just use delete syntax here. Okay, so I will explain later how we can delete records, multiple records, single records, like that. So but this is the basic thing how we can use background script, and this is an example to update multiple records. Okay, so next we will see. So I will in upcoming sections I will explain clearly about gs print, gs info, gs error, gs log, gs1. Okay, for sure I will explain, and glide record, everything I will explain clearly. Okay, so next, key characters. Okay, so scope. Actually, let's coming to the scope. Actually, the background script by default it runs in global scope by default. But if you need to run the script, background script, not in a global scope, some other scope, some other application scope, if you need to execute the background script there, then you need to change your scope selector. Okay, so I will show you. So here right now in my instance it's a global and it's default. and by default the background script take it as and it will run in global default. Okay, if you need to run or if you need to change any other scopes, so at that time you just come here, take the scope selector and you just pick like this. So if you take admin center, if you need to change some things under admin center scope, so you can just change here as admin center in scope selector. Once it got changed, then the instance will set it to the admin center application scope, then you can run the scripts there. But by default it will be the global only. I mean the background script will run in global only. If you need to if you need to run in any other scopes, you just change in scope selector. Okay, so next we have execution. So as said before, it runs very immediately onto the server. You it's a very quick process, I can tell. If you run the background scripts in background, thus in server scripts like that, it will run very fastly. Okay, so output we saw before, results via gs.print or gs.log. So by using this file, you can get the outputs. So this is the basics, but gs.print or gs.log. Okay, so roll back. So we can't, because the changes are very immediate and it's live. We can roll back, but it's very big process. Like we need to go to delete table like that. It's very big process, but we can roll back. That's the very difficult here. Okay, audit trail. As said before, the outputs will be stored in. I said right. The outputs will audited in log table, so which is sys log. Sorry, here I have mentioned a sys underscore log. It's not a sys underscore log. It's sys log table. Okay. Please excuse and remove that underscore. It's only syslog. So scoped applications. So that's what I said. Like we can change the scope in our instance at scope selector. Here you can select the applications here. Okay, but by default it will be the global. Okay, next, global is scoped executions. Okay, so global scope. So default execution, I said before, it's a default execution. Full platform access can access all tables and APIs in global scope by using background script. So used for instance wide fixes. So if you can put hands very long, very wide in global scope, so no scope restrictions. So there is no restrictions in a global scope. Okay, but be sure before going to the production, you just make a testing in your lower instance. If you need to be confident whether your script is fine and it won't impact any other records or something. Okay, let's go to the scoped app. So it's selected via scope drop down. So here this one scope. Okay, this is a scope selector. Here you will select and limited to apps permission. It will very limited to the apps permission, respects cross scope rules, used for app specific testing, safer sandbox context. Okay, and if you need to uh, jump into the another scope and you need to run there, you can, as said before, you can go to your scope selector and you can select and you can run the scripts there. Okay, so that it will run under that scope and applications. Okay, so next, best practices, what you need to do and you not to do. So first, we will check what do's. Okay, so first, before going to the production, just make testings and things in your lower instance, non-production. Okay, so every time to get confirmation whether your script is updated I showed you, right? We have updated 13 records, bulk records. So there I have written gs.print to print the statement once it got executed. So like that you can use gs.print, and you can set limit by gr.limit means here this is our script. Here before it's 13 records, right? But I need to test, I need to set a limit for testing purpose, and I need to check whether my code will work or not, like that. So before updating all 13 records, so at that time I can put a limit here, a dot set limit. So here I will put limit as 2. Okay. So if I put set limit, so among 13 records, it will take two records and it will update, so that you can check whether these two records has updated, whether it will update for all 13 if we remove the limit, so that we can check here. Okay, so next, log actions for audit purpose. So as said before, we can see our logs in syslog table. You can check. Okay, deactivate records instead of deleting. Yeah. So right now we have deleted, right? 13 incidents. So if there is an option to deactivate the records, for example, let's take 10 users. Okay, so but you need to remove those users from instance, from production, for example production. Okay, so at that time you have two options, you can deactivate and delete. But instead of deleting, if you deactivate, it's very good. Okay, so doing, don't do any deletion, just deactivate if you have option. Okay, so don't. So what don'ts will come in a background script? Let's see. Run untested scripts on production. So don't run any scripts in production directly until you are confident whether your scripts will run. Okay, otherwise it will a big mess if you run the scripts without testing, or if you are not confident in production, then it will be a big mess. Okay, so perform mass deletes without verification. Yeah, so without any verification, don't do any mass deletion. So it's very difficult to roll back. Sometimes we can't. That's the thing. Okay, so skip reviewing output before committing. Okay, next, ignore the scope selector context. So every time you can you no need to select the scope selector. By default, it will be the global. In exceptional cases, if you need to run, if you need to select the application or scope, then you go to the scope selector. Okay, share scripts without code review. Okay, so these are the do's and don'ts of background scripts. Okay, so we came to the summary. So what is background script? Server side JavaScript execution tools for admins under system definition. Okay, access. So what access we need for system background scripts? So the thing is, major role, admin role. We need admin role to do the execution, to run the script, and to fully log in syslog table. And here also I have put as sys underscore log. It's syslog. Here I will show you the table name. Wait. So I have written, that is a mistake, sorry. So here you can see sys log. It's not a sys underscore log. Okay. Next, use cases. So in which cases it will use? So data fixes, logic testing, property checks, user impersonation, scope. We can switch between global and scoped app context if needed. Okay, safety, no, as said before, we can't roll back. Before going to that, just before going to the production, make a testing in a lower instance and don't delete. Okay, just deactivate or do some alternatives, but don't delete if there is a option to skip the deletion. Okay, next, I think that's it. Yeah, thank you. So in next section we will discuss more about gs info, gs dot print, everything, glide record.